Hi, hello, it's Jess, and welcome to the vlog. I just filmed a video. I filmed all of the series that I'm currently in the middle of, and you know what? By the end of that video, I was embarrassed. So, I'm gonna do another 24-hour challenge. I've only done one before, but I did it and it was a blast. But this time I'm gonna spend 24 hours reading books that are in series that I'm in the middle of. So this isn't gonna be me staying awake for 24 hours or just reading as much as I can over the course of the day. This is going to be me timing myself over the course of many days and only reading, no other distractions for 24 hours and seeing how many series can I get caught up in? How many series can I finish? How many series can I make progress in? I don't remember off the top of my head. Editing Jessica is going to put however many pages I read when I did my first reading for 24 hours challenge, and we'll see if we can beat that. I'm not going to plan out a full TBR at the start of this video, but I have picked my first book. My first book for this vlog is going to be Dawnshard by Brandon Sanderson. It is one of the shortest books on my TBR. It also is the only book that I need to read to be fully caught up in the Stormlight Archives. It's going to be quick, it's going to be fast, and it's going to get me caught up on one of those series. So, let's go. I will check in with you later. Okay, hi. I already am ready to do my first update because I finished Dawnshard. That's one series that I have fully caught up on this year. Hell yes. Does it decrease the number of series that I'm in the middle of? No. But it's progress, okay? We're working on it. This is a novella in the Stormlight Archives series. It takes place between books 3 and 4, even though I've already read book 4, but it's fine. I really honestly can't say much about this book overall. That's why I didn't give any updates in the middle of this. And I'm also not going to do a full recap of the Stormlight Archives because honestly, that series is so hard to describe. It's so hard to talk about the Stormlight Archives because it is just a massive series. It's so massive. The scope is huge. Like it's impossible. So we're just not gonna. And what I am gonna tell you is this novella follows Rhysand, who is a trade woman, and you met her in book 3, I believe. I don't think you met her before that. It's mainly about her, and she has this little like animal companion called Cheery Cheery, who I just love. Is so cute. I love animal companions. They're one of my favorite tropes. I love them so much. Cheery Cheery is kind of sick, and Cheery Cheery is a very rare animal, so in the nation that Rhysand is in, none of like the equivalent of vets can figure out like how to take care of her. So it's suggested that Rhysand take Cheery Cheery back to like her homeland, like where her species originated. And she's a tradeswoman and she's like, okay, but like that's going to be a really expensive journey. And so she kind of also makes an agreement with the queen of a couple different nations to go on kind of like this commission and do like a little bit of exploration of this other thing while she's also trying to take care of her little companion. I know that sounds super vague. I'm keeping it very vague intentionally, but I loved this. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think it's so cute. Per usual, Brandon Sanderson has introduced some things and he's like, remember when I teased that one thing? Well, I'm gonna give you some answers about that one thing. But see, here's the problem. I'm gonna make you ask like 4 new questions for every answer I give you. So once again, I finish a book in the Stormlight Archives and I just don't know what the ramifications are. I don't know what's going to happen next involving this particular set of circumstances. I don't know how this is all going to play out and affect the other things that I already know about within the world. It's a hot mess, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I really loved my experience with this novella. There are also some side characters from other novels who are some of my favorite and like most beloved characters that are also like main characters in this story. They play a major role in how this plot plays out. And so like I just love seeing like side characters that I love having like their moment to shine. It's a really, really good reading experience. I loved it. One book down in our 24 hours. I'm currently at 3 hours and 37 minutes. I will say that I have been having some focusing issues. I've been feeling like really lethargic and worn down, and I've been having like headaches and like very, very light body aches. I think that's why I'm having some focusing issues, but that being said, fantastic way to start this vlog. I'm gonna take a hard pivot here, and I think my next book is gonna be Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, because I'm gonna simply lose my mind if I don't get to read that book soon. I need it. I need it. I need it so badly. I need it right now. So I'm gonna let myself have it. Simple solution, right? I'm gonna go read now, and I will tell you more about Don't Fear the Reaper when I have something interesting to say. Later! I hope the angle and the lighting are okay right now. I'm in my bedroom, but we are 7 hours and 26 minutes now into this 24-hour readathon. I am 150 pages into My Heart is a Chainsaw. I'm definitely still having some focusing issues. I can feel that my brain is just like moving kind of slowly. I still am really enjoying myself. So far, I'm loving. Did I say My Heart is a Chainsaw? I meant Don't Fear the Reaper. Sorry. Don't Fear the Reaper. I'm loving it so far. It is a direct sequel to My Heart is a Chainsaw. And after the events that took place there, Jade was arrested, and basically she was imprisoned for 4 years while her trial was going on. Like it like took 4 years for her to be released, and that in and of itself is terrible. Also very indicative of what's going on in the prison system in the United States at the moment. So this book takes place 4 years later. Jade is now going by Jennifer, which is her full name, and she just got back to town, like has been there for less than 24 hours. It's December 12th when the book starts, and then rolls over to Friday, December 13th, which beautiful, perfect, outstanding, amazing choice. At the same time that Jennifer, not Jade, Jennifer gets back to town, there's this transport convoy that is transporting a convicted serial killer, and he escapes. Obviously, like what else would happen? He escapes. And as convicted serial killers are wont to do, he starts murdering people. So this is told in like the same stream of consciousness type writing that My Heart is a Chainsaw was written in. Stephen Graham Jones is one of my favorite authors, and one of my favorite things about him is his writing style. My Heart is a Chainsaw and now this Don't Fear the Reaper are definitely written in a stream of conscious style, but I do think that if you didn't like My Heart is a Chainsaw because of that, which I know is something that bugged a lot of people, that book does not have a high average rating, then I think you're not gonna like Don't Fear the Reaper. But if you loved that about My Heart is a Chainsaw, which is something that I absolutely loved, then I think it's going to increase your enjoyment of Don't Fear the Reaper. I just love Jade so much, and I really think this stream of consciousness style. I just think that that artistic choice for how to tell this story is so suited to having Jade Jennifer as the main character of these novels. Obviously, due to everything that she's been through, Jennifer is a very changed person. Like, she went through the trauma of what happened in My Heart is a Chainsaw, and then like the continued trauma of her arrest and trial and all of that. So she's very changed, but also still the same in the ways that matter, in the ways that you love her for. And already there have been like three separate moments where I'm reading the book and we're in Jennifer's head and she thinks something where like I just have to like put the bookmark in and close the book because it's just so heartbreaking because I love her so much and she's been through so much and like I just want her to be happy, but in order for her to be happy now she's going to have to catch a serial killer. I did also want to say too that this book is kicking off much quicker. It's already pretty bloody. My Heart is a Chainsaw and Don't Fear the Reaper are both slashers, but My Heart is a Chainsaw has a very slow start, and the beginning of that book, in fact, I would say the majority of My Heart is a Chainsaw is all about the anticipation and the dread. And Stephen Graham Jones does a masterful job in My Heart is a Chainsaw, building out the dread and playing with the reader psychologically. And I love it. Don't Fear the Reaper, though, really is hitting the ground running. I'm 150 pages in, and the body count is about to hit 7, I think. There's one person that might not be dead, so we'll see. But yeah, the bodies are already starting to pile up. Like, Stephen Graham Jones was like, this time we're getting even bloodier. When you think about like the premise of My Heart is a Chainsaw versus Don't Fear the Reaper, how like there's already this serial killer like loose escaped, it makes sense that like the body count would start much earlier. And it is very, very bloody. Nothing that's been like super, super gross. The gross factor is pretty low, but like the blood factor is pretty high. Though I do think that'll change. Stephen Graham Jones has grossed me out many a time, so I do think it's gonna get grosser as we go. Don't Fear the Reaper, I think, is going to hit much more emotionally, whereas in My Heart is a Chainsaw, Stephen Graham Jones plays with your mind. He plays with you psychologically. He has you second guessing a lot of the things that you see on page. In Don't Fear the Reaper, he's very much playing with your heart. And I think that this is going to be very emotional. I hope it will be cathartic for a few of the characters. There are a lot of characters, and all of them need therapy. I think it's going to get more emotional. I think it's going to get more bloody. I think it's going to get more horrific. I'm just hoping that the people I care about will make it to book 3. Fingers crossed that I don't cry. Hello, good morning. It's update time because I finished Don't Fear the Reaper and it is excellent. Another 5-star from Stephen Graham Jones. I think that this is an absolutely phenomenal middle book in a trilogy. It 100% lived up to my expectations. It is a great addition to this story. This doesn't feel like middle book syndrome at all. I don't necessarily have any like plot updates since I last spoke about this. I really loved the journey in here that we went through with Jennifer, with Jade, how she is so different in this book after everything that's happened to her, and yet she's also still herself, and how both versions of her are equally herself and both are equally important. Being with her in her head as she doesn't completely heal, but take steps on the road to healing. It's really, really beautiful and endearing, and it means a lot to me. If you've read My Heart is a Chainsaw, you know that Jade went through a lot of trauma at the end of that book, and there's also other things that she went through. We don't know really what happened when she was imprisoned, so she's just been through so much, and it's just really great to see her actively trying to heal herself and grow as a person. I'm sorry, I feel like this update is a little all over the place because I'm trying to find words without like giving too much away, so I'm sorry about that. I do really love the theme in literature, and I don't care what genre it is, of like, who am I? And I really like it when authors take the time to look at different facets of a human and how we do change. We're not static creatures. We grow, we change, sometimes change for the worse, sometimes change for the better. And I just really like when authors take the time to build this character development while also acknowledging that all of these different facets of one person are all still equal parts of this person, and one isn't necessarily better than the other, and that the old version of you isn't better or worse than the new. Well, sometimes it is, but at least like in this case, acknowledging the old Jade and who she was and what she went through, while also like actively working towards the new Jade, is just a really beautiful process in this book, and I loved it. I loved it so much. 90% of the book is told from Jade's point of view, but we do get to see
quite a few different perspectives for glimpses throughout the book. Being able to see those different perspectives was really important plot-wise. There were some perspectives that I obviously liked a lot more than others. Some that, to be perfectly honest, kind of sucked to be in that perspective due to the nature of the different perspectives. And also just due to the nature of this book being so much more fast paced than My Heart is a Chainsaw, I think some people are gonna like this better and some people are gonna like it a little bit less. I definitely am in the camp where I like My Heart is a Chainsaw a little bit better. This is still a 5-star read. This is still excellent and like very possibly will be in my favorite books of the year. Don't get me wrong. There was something that I really liked about how slow moving My Heart is a Chainsaw was and how psychological it was. There's just simply not as much time for Jade to reflect on what is happening around her. I really don't think that it's like a better or worse thing. I think that it is just a characteristic of this book, and it will mean that some people like My Heart is a Chainsaw better and some people like Don't Fear the Reaper better. If you were disappointed by the amount of blood and the body count in My Heart is a Chainsaw, you will not be in Don't Fear the Reaper. The action in this book starts on page 1 and it doesn't let up until the end. I think I said this earlier, but My Heart is a Chainsaw definitely plays with your mind, and Don't Fear the Reaper definitely plays with your heart. 5 out of 5 stars. This book is excellent. We're just over 15 hours into this 24 hours now, and I have finished 1 novella and 1 full-length novel. So I'm actually going to move on to another novella now. I think I'm going to pick up Read On by Brandon Sanderson, which is the second novella in the Skyward series. It takes place between Starsight and Cytonic and after Sunreach. I will talk to you when I have something to say about Read On. Okay, so it's actually just a couple hours later and I finished Read On, so go me. So I'm not sure how long the Kindle edition is of Read On, but I have like the physical bind up of all 3 novellas, and in the physical bind up, Read On is 207 pages. We were just over 15 hours the last time I checked in, and now we're almost 18. We have not quite hit 18 hours yet. Honestly, I cannot tell you a single thing about the plot of Read On. Even just like a hint of the plot will spoil, I mean, parts of Skyward, but Starsight, it'll spoil Starsight, like almost the entirety of it. I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. This is the second novella and it follows an alien character, and I'm not even gonna talk like about her name or anything about her, but I did really enjoy it. It was really, really fun. I think that the plot of this novella is going to have really, really big, like massive ramifications moving on into the series. I think it is going to completely change things. And I am very excited to see how that plays out in Cytonic, which is like the next book that I will be reading in this series. I did like that this novella was from the point of view of an alien character, because, I mean, that's always a fun perspective to have. They don't necessarily understand fully like humans and human customs. It's really, really interesting to see how they react to certain things that the humans do and how they interact with them and the similarities and differences. It just provides like a lot of humor for this novella. I also like that in this we got to see a little bit of the progression that happened after Sunreach and a little bit more knowledge of how those events are moving forward. Can I tell you what those events are? No. Oh my God. It's literally so hard to give an update for something that's this deep into the series. Also, if you can see how dry my skin is today, like, please ignore that. As the seasons are changing, my skin is having so many problems. So if you can see how dry it is, just like look away. I don't know if there's anything else I can say about Read On. I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. I'm giving it 3 stars. It didn't blow my mind, but I thought it was really good and really enjoyable. Obviously, there was like some very real stakes, and the whole thing wasn't just like a light-hearted adventure. There were very real stakes. Some of the characters had some big personal growth moments that I liked, but overall it was just very, very fun. I'm so sorry that this update is terrible, and I literally can't tell you anything else about this novella. We have just over 6 hours left in this challenge. I'm definitely not gonna finish this challenge today, but I did want to let you know what book I'm gonna read next. I have made what will probably be a very poor decision. I think I'm going to look back and regret this, but I've decided that this is what I'm gonna read. City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is book 6 in the Mortal Instruments, and it's over 700 pages. I don't know if I can finish this. This might be a mistake, but yeah, we're gonna give it a go. I've got 6 hours. We're gonna see how far I can get into this massive, gigantic young adult fantasy. And welcome to the end of the vlog. This is the final update. I have succeeded in reading for 24 hours. Unfortunately, I did not end up finishing City of Heavenly Fire. I made it to page 429, which is definitely over halfway. You can see where my bookmark is. This is the 6th book in the Mortal Instruments series, which is the first series that Cassandra Clare wrote in the Shadowhunter world. Really, the Mortal Instruments is 2 trilogies with connecting stories, but 2 completely different arcs. And so this is the last book in that entire series. In case you've been living under a rock for like the past 15 years, I don't know when the first book was published. The Shadowhunter world is an urban fantasy world, and it's young adult, and basically in this world there are demons and all sorts of fantastical creatures. There's werewolves, vampires, fairies, all of that stuff. But basically demons are creatures of pure evil and chaos, and in order to combat them, there are half human, half angel people, and basically their job is to like protect the world. And then in the first book, the main character, Clary, finds out that she is actually a shadow hunter. She did not know that, and then she kind of gets sucked into the world. I mean, honestly, there's a lot more going on than just that, but that's really as much as I can give you. So far, I'm really enjoying this book. Overall, The Mortal Instruments is considered Cassandra Clare's like worst series within the Shadowhunter world. It is her first one, and the general consensus is that like they all get better and better. And so far, I have found The Mortal Instruments to be kind of cringy to very fine. I'm actually surprised that I am pretty much enjoying this one. It's just been really, really consumable. Obviously, I can't really talk about the plot. Even just discussing like the second arc in the Mortal Instruments series is massive, massive spoilers for the first arc. So I can't tell you anything, but I will just say that this one hits the ground running. It's honestly really, really thick, and I thought that I was going to complain and say that it's too long, that it needed to be edited down, but I really don't feel that way at all. I actually think so far it's all been necessary information, necessary conversations with characters. There's been so much action. There's been character deaths that I did not see coming. I'm really enjoying it. This is a surprise for me. I don't think this is going to be like a 5-star read or anything like that. I'm just shocked at how much I'm really liking it and how much it's like a really fun ride. I definitely think that this is the best in the second arc for sure. Maybe the best in the entire Mortal Instruments. This is exceeding my expectations, so we're considering it a win. So yeah, that's where I'm at with City of Heavenly Fire. I'm sure I will finish it before the end of the month, so I'm sure that you'll hear about it in my monthly wrap up. But yeah, we finished the 24 hours of me continuing and finishing series. This might not have been the best idea for a vlog because I realized that I can't actually tell you about most of the books in this vlog. I really can't give any good reading updates, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if this vlog is not very interesting. It was a flawed premise to begin with. I should not have devoted an entire video to series that I'm in the middle of because I can't give you any updates. However, I'm really happy that I did this. I'm so happy that I was able to make progress in 3 series, 2 of which I fully am caught up in, and I'm halfway through City of Heavenly Fire. So by the end of this month, I will have completed a series. Editing Jessica is going to put the number of pages read on the screen for you. I'm 99% sure we did not exceed the vampire 24-hour challenge. This whole experiment has just been for fun, and I had a good time. I'm definitely gonna do more of these in the future because they're just a blast. It's just a really, really fun time. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I had fun. I hope you had fun. If you enjoyed this, I hope that you would consider subscribing. This is embarrassing, but my next video is gonna be a birthday book haul because it's my birthday and I got books, okay? Like, I know that I have a problem, but it was my birthday. It's my birthday. I deserve books for my birthday, right? I'm an embarrassment. What can I say? I hope you have a good week. I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay hydrated, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.